Presenting the CW Crew.
Hey everybody, John Foss, CW Twin Cities. Very excited to be talking to the one and only Anthony Russo. We're talking Avengers Endgame. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, thank you.
So this is the We Love You 3000 tour, and we're at Best Buy. And so Avengers Endgame is now out on digital now and Blu-ray. And you are going around the country. You're talking to lots of fans. I know you've done a ton of interviews. Have there been any questions that have stuck out to you where you're like, you know what, that's a great point. I wish I would have done that differently in the movie, or anything like that just caught you off guard?
No, there's not been one of those, actually. It's strange that you ask.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, we always get surprised with questions from fans. I mean, that's the one thing about these movies, like the passion that people have for them, the detail that they watch them with. I mean, we spend years of our lives crafting these films, so they've been really thought through from every angle, but there's always new takes, there's always new points of view.
One of the crazy things about this film is you are tying together 21 films, and there's a lot of pressure because the fans are so hardcore, so intense, and most fans are very happy with it. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, 94 I think with the critics. Very well done film. And when it comes to like the Academy Awards and stuff like that, there's generally certain types of films that are nominated and recognized. At a certain point, I mean, we're talking best film, best director, best picture. At what point does this become a film to be recognized for the Academy Awards?
I mean, this is a good question, and it's really not for me to say ultimately, although I am a member of the Academy, but it's hard to talk about your own movie. I mean, we are grateful for how the movie's been received. It's been an extremely strong reaction, and as far as recognition for the film goes, Robert Downey's performance in this movie is remarkable. He's one of the best actors of his generation. He's a phenomenal talent. He's moved audiences around the world with his performance as Tony Stark, and it's come to he brought it to a really beautiful climax in this film. So he's certainly somebody that I think deserves recognition.
One of the things I've heard you and your brother Joe talk about is how much you like working with Marvel and doing his films, because they don't say, oh, in 2 films we have this happening, so you need to do this. They don't put you in a box like that, so you can do your own thing, hand off the baton to the next person.
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce? Is that the secret sauce, or what is it that continues to make these Marvel films turn out so well?
It's a great question. I mean, it's a really hard recipe to put your finger on, to be honest with you. I mean, certainly a lot of it has to do with Kevin Feige and everybody at Marvel Studios. They're an amazing group of producers who have shepherded this whole thing, and I think they have really good taste. They pick good filmmakers, they pick the right filmmakers for the movie. They really love the material, and I think they find other people who really love the material, and I think it's just about exploring all the different ways you can love these stories and explore these stories.
One of the funniest parts about Endgame is Fat Thor and the Big Lebowski comparison. Number one, are you guys huge fans of that film, or why did you go with that comparison? And there's also some people that say, I wish that Thor would have been a badass again at the end of the movie like he was beforehand. Is that something that you wish you would have done at the end of the film, or is that something that's going to maybe happen in the future?
Well, I would argue that Thor certainly was a badass at the end of this movie. I mean, you can be a badass even in his form, I believe, and that was an important point that we wanted to make with the movie. Look, Thor has gone through an immense amount of suffering. That's what's brought him to this state. He's basically insulating himself from the pain that he's gone through, from the losses that he's gone through. He's hiding like many of us do in food and video games and TV, and he's basically just checked out, and this is where that sort of life experience has brought him, and that just doesn't go away. That's a part of him now, and he'll have a future road moving forward from here, but it was very important for us. We always want to commit to the emotional stakes for these characters, because we ultimately believe that's what makes us love these characters, and we think that's what makes audiences love these characters, is when they have real emotional stakes and you can relate to them on a real human level, and that's really where Thor's character comes from.
And what about the Lebowski look?
Oh, the Lebowski look, that sort of evolved. Once we knew that he was going to be living this lifestyle and sort of gaining the weight, and it just kind of snowballed into a Lebowski idea. We do love that movie deeply.
And one of the things we see in this film is that most likely we're not going to see Robert Downey Jr. again. We're not going to see Chris Evans. We're not going to see Scarlett Johansson. What do you think the future of these films will be? Do you think that's going to be an issue as far as like losing such huge iconic characters?
Look, if Marvel Studios has proven anything, it's that their ability to sort of surprise and reinvent and think outside the box. And that's what Marvel's given itself a chance to do now by cutting these ties to these loved characters that they've been enjoying such a wonderful storytelling run with, they're committing to new stories. And they're not the kind of studio that's afraid to commit to new stories. And I think we should all be very excited about what those stories might be.
Will you and Joe be working with Marvel in the future?
We don't have any direct plans to do that right now, but we love Marvel. We have a fantastic relationship with them. The work that we've done is among our favorite work we've ever done in our careers. So yeah, we would be really thrilled to work with them again in the future if the right thing came along.
All right, well, Twin Cities, make sure you get Avengers Endgame. It's available right now on digital now and Blu-ray. Anthony Russo, I just want to say the CW Twin Cities, we love you, 3000.
That's really sweet. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it.
The CW crew on the CW Twin Cities. DJ Bonix, Alexa Score, and John Foss. Like, follow, subscribe to, and love the CW crew.